Kai Cash here. I'm here right now with my unks. Boot Pod Cav.
Boot Pod Cav.
We have boots and we have Air Forces.
With the unks and the boot pods, man.
Yeah.
Nah, but listen, we here. The Bootleg Cav podcast.
No, start all over.
Hey, before we start the episode, we're going to remind everybody, man, we got one of the biggest radio shows in the country, syndicated in almost 100 cities, all over. Shout out to iHeartRadio. All right. Some of the latest cities that we've been able to add, man. I want to give a shout out to 93.9 The Beat in Honolulu. That's right. Hawaii. We over there going crazy. I also want to give a shout out Hot 98.3 in Tucson. Shout out to Tucson going crazy. Also want to give a shout out to Wild 94.1 in Tampa. Going crazy. We just got Richmond. We also just got the good folks in Bakersfield at Hot 104.7. So we're going crazy on the radio with my partner James Andre Jefferson Jr. for the Bootleg Kev Show. So make sure you tune in and you can listen anywhere on that iHeartRadio app. That's right. Let's get into the interview. Bootleg Kev Podcast. We got a special guest in here. My guys pulled up. Shout out to Generation Now. Yes, always evolving, always bringing new talent to the scene, man. DJ Drama, Don Cannon. I want you to introduce your newest artist from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We're here on Bootleg Kev, our brother, our family, and we brought the newest signee of Generation Now to the table, to the family, to our guy. He goes by the name of Kai Cash from Brooklyn.
Sir. Yeah.
And he is going to be on the Mount Rushmore one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a great intro. I don't think it
Hey,
gets
man.
better than that. Kenny,
Rap his fucking ass
Hey,
off.
man, I can't follow that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, shit, like,
Okay.
you know,
right.
Kev, we done been here before. Like, we done did this before.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of fun sometimes when it's, you know, you feel like good underdog situation, even, you know, when you have so many wins, so many successes. But, I mean, when we first met Kai and we first were introduced, like, it was a studio session where, you know, he just kept playing record after record after record. Mm-hmm. We was blown away, you know what I'm saying? Just to, you know, hear those bars and especially in the climate of today where, you know, you only have a real handful of artists doing the type of music that he's doing.
Right.
And can really, like, you know, come to the table and really, he's really from the cloth. So, you know, that's always been exciting for
Dreamville
us.
Fest this weekend, too.
Yes, sir. Saturday.
Last Dreamville Fest. Are you
I'm
nervous?
super excited. You know, there's a little bit of performance jitters that I always get before I get on stage, but other than that, it's just like, hell nah.
So how did you get on these guys' radar? Because this is not an easy radar to get on.
Facts. It's not an easy code to crack, man.
Yeah.
I'm just working for real. We got some mutuals. You know, to always put the bug in the air, but it's just like that doesn't always work.
Right.
So finally, it came to fruition, and it was just like, yo, let's sit down. Let's just see what we can. Let's just listen to the music first and foremost.
Most important part.
I want to go play the music, and we here.
Yeah. What part of Brooklyn are you from?
I'm from East New York.
Okay.
By way of Bed-Stuy. My dad is from the Stuy.
Got
Whole
it.
family from the Stuy, so.
So for people who don't understand, like, East New York, because I feel like we shot some shit in East New York before. What is the vibe over there?
East New York is the last. East New York and Brownsville are like the last places that are gentrified in Brooklyn. That should
aren't?
tell you that aren't. Yeah.
Right.
That aren't. My bad. Yeah, that should tell you everything that you need to know about.
Yeah, I feel
East
like
New
if they
York.
ever try to gentrify Brownsville, like
I don't think it would work. Yeah, it's
Billy
like, what the
Dan's
fuck,
and Little
what the
Fame
hell?
will come with a fucking like sawed-off shotgun and just start
fuck,
shooting
like-
hipsters. You know?
Yeah, do your business.
I feel like it just don't make no sense. Like it's like the grit of Brooklyn, for real, and it still looks the same, still feels the same.
Is it like?
By the way, MOP's probably in a Whole Foods as we speak.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. They've evolved a lot. Yeah, it's crazy. Like our favorite like rappers from New York are like super healthy now. Like fucking Styles
Atlanta
P's,
too.
got
Yeah.
shots and shit.
Yeah, Jeezy somewhere, you know, drinking a wheatgrass shot right now.
Jadakiss is
Liver
doing all types of pull-ups.
So, I was checking out some of your shit. I saw you obviously tapped in with the LA boys. I saw you got some shit with Greedo.
Yeah, shout out to Greedo. I got a song with Chike that it's an older joint. I'm trying to get him back in the studio. I knew Chike before the Kendrick shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we all did. Shout out to Chike.
Facts. Shout out to Chike.
Chike, LA
Sway.
legend. Yeah,
Facts.
for sure. So, give me kind of like, man, like what's your influences? Like, who are you listening to? Like, you know, because I was listening to your shit and like they said, like, I'm like, oh, this shit is like you really
Yeah.
doing this hip hop shit, for real.
Rapping, yeah. Craziest thing is I listen to a little bit of everything. Like I'm a fan of music in its entirety, like even the dumb shit. But like growing up,
Define dumb shit.
like it's this song called Phoebe. Yeah, it to me it's fire. It's
You know what
just-
I really
it's
love?
dumb as hell, but it's
I love
fire
Dave
as fuck.
Blunts.
Shit like that. I can put down a cup. Like I fuck with shit like
Dave
that. Like,
Blunts
yeah.
he's the most hilarious artist alive.
I like
his
shit like that,
bars
yeah.
are so disrespectfully offensive.
He don't care at all.
I love it.
Like he
Yeah.
just doesn't. And that's my thing. Like when you hear me, you wouldn't think I would even listen to
Right.
somebody like Dave Blunts, but I be listening to everything. Like my ear is just open. But growing up, it was more so like what I seen. It was Mace. It was Jay-Z. It was Big, 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks.
Do you think
for
Double
sure.
Up is slept on? Mason?
Double Up?
Second.
I do think so. But I don't think it's better than Harlem World though.
Obviously,
but I do think it slept on.
Yeah. Double Up had some shit on it.
Yeah, it did. Definitely.
Yeah. So Mace is up there for you.
Yeah.
It's been kind of cool to watch Mace turn into like
Facts.
podcaster.
Yeah, that shit is fire. Because he's hilarious.
You know, I'm like really disappointed in the guys that you decided to do business with because they pump faked us. Well, this fucker right here. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast for like 6 episodes and then disappear and stop doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do another season.
The problem is people like DJ Drama
What's the
should
podcast
have the
about?
biggest podcast in the world in hip hop.
Yeah, if he tapped in,
that's
it'd be
a fact.
crazy.
But
it'd be
all
crazy.
he wanted to do was come and get a bag and then disappear.
Send him out
That's a
of
fact.
here. Out of here.
The Silver Surfer.
I'm still here.
Nah, you should definitely do a podcast.
Drama, you
one
should
day.
have the biggest hip hop podcast in the world.
It's not
You,
too late.
didn't you put your shit behind a paywall or something crazy?
No, I'd put it out through Amazon Prime.
That's where you fucked up. But they gave you a bag, so take that bag and
They
then,
did.
launch a whole new podcast.
That's not a bad idea.
Because they gave Khaled a bag.
Well, I don't know, but they gave me one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kenya Barris.
But yo, for real, like nobody should be fucking with you in this space.
Yeah, it's very oversaturated right now. So
It is.
If I was to cut, it'd be like me trying to, after the rush, try to come out with a DJ record with like artists on it, like in 2016.
Like a little late.
Yeah, you feel me? So, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but the reason why you brought it up, which is so dope, is because of how Mason Cam pivoted and did like a sports podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to do something, I would like to do something with a twist to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, you could talk about
But
sports.
again-
You could talk about anything.
Again, I did have a one season run with the Gangsta Grills podcast. We did 6.
Do you own the IP?
7 episodes? Yeah, me and Kenya own it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and I still have the visual from it that I haven't put out.
Yeah, you didn't do any visuals, huh?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you just did the whole shit wrong. I'm sure the bag was nice though.
It was. I mean, but I don't want to say because of the bag, I chose to go in the directions. But obviously, it would have been nice to have the video that come out with it.
You have your own like actual headquarters where you could shoot it. Like you don't need anybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, we want to do a whole documentary about all that too. So that's still in the works. We got the affiliate story, the Gangsta Grill story, the Generation Now story, the Mean Street Studio story. So
Hey, you already know, man. We just finished March Madness. Now it's all about the NBA playoffs. NFL football season. If you squint hard enough, you can see it coming down. But nonetheless, my bookie's where you want to get in on all the action, baby. That's right. If y'all know me, man, I love sports gambling. It's something that it is my, I would say, a passion. I've been rocking with my bookie for at least 11 or 12 years as a client. And so it's great that now they are partners with our podcast. This is what's dope about my bookie. No matter where you're at, you go to my bookie right now, mybookie.ag, sign up for a new account using that promo code Bootleg. You're going to get that first deposit bonus up to $1,000. Yes. And right now it's all about the NBA playoffs, MLB baseball, which is, if you know what you're doing with the baseball, there's a lot of money to be made. And we got the futures. I'm going to say you got to just ride the Thunder all the way. Historically, the best net rating in NBA history when it comes to defense and offense together. They are absolutely going to murder everybody and then win against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals It's my opinion. We'll see what happens. Nonetheless, get in on all the action. Early cash outs on your parlays. You could do your futures. Who you think is going to win the MVP? You still got a couple of days to get that in. Who do you think is going to win the NBA championship? Who do you think is going to win the World Series? And of course, they got the full service casino. I'm talking about blackjack with Blackjack Dealers Live. You could do roulette. You could do craps. You could do slots. You could do everything. MyBookie.ag. You got to use that promo code Bootleg. That supports the podcast and that gets you hooked up with that first deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag. Also want to give a shout out to Blue Chew. That's right, Blue Chew, man. A lot of people always keep asking me about Blue Chew. Does it work? Look, find out for yourself because you can get a free month supply. You just go to bluechew.com, pay $5 shipping. They're going to send you in a discreet package, of course, some Blue Chew. It's got the same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form, sent discreetly to your doorstep. 0 visits to doctors' offices. It's all handled online. You're dealing with erectile dysfunction, Blue Chew got you. Maybe you need a little extra pep in your step. Blue Chew got you. Damn near adds a half inch to your for real. I'm kidding. It doesn't. I don't think we're allowed to say that. But it feels like it. Your ain't never been harder. I mean that. You're going to have all-time erections. And your partner, whether that's your wife, your girlfriend, your side, a dude, a trans dude, whoever you're, etceteras, non-etceteras, everyone's going to appreciate how hard your is as long as, they get to experience it, So you'll be thanking me later. They'll be thanking me later. Them will be thanking me later. BlueChew.com right now. You get that delivered right to your doorstep discreetly. Try it for free for a month. Please. I mean, fellas, ladies, etceteras. Get on that Blue Chew. I mean, what are we waiting for? Free. All right. Yeah, pay $5 for shipping and let's make it happen. Let's get back to the interview.
Are you guys going to do a documentary about just like the late 2000s run?
Yeah, I think we're still trying to figure out in what context that we want to tell all the stories. Like, is it a 4-part series where we go through the different time periods? Is it 2 separate ones? You know what I'm saying? So we're still trying to figure that out.
Did you grow up listening to Gangsta Grills?
Yeah. Started from maybe like Dedication 2, I think, was the first one that I kind of got familiar with when Drum was and Cannon. And then from there, I just kept, I kept hearing them. It was inevitable. It was like they did every mixtape. So I've been tapped in for quite some time. Then in my whole life.
Some of the most slept on mixtapes of all time too.
Nah, fact. The discography is
a little
insane.
brother.
I haven't even got that far. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, you got to get that.
I know
brother.
it's
He's a real
mad.
That little brother Gangsta Grills was great.
No, it's mad Gangsta Grills tapes I've never heard.
The Skateboard P1 too.
Never heard that one.
Classic.
Super classic. Hey, Drum, what do you think is your most underrated mixtape of all time that maybe didn't necessarily get like the eyes of like a Dedication 2 and all that?
There's Jeremiah Late Nights.
Ooh, for sure.
Yeah, that was slept on. Would I consider Chris Brown In My Zone slept on?
A hit came off of that joint.
That's a good tape.
A smash came off of there.
Came off
What was
that.
on?
No Bullshit was on there.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. The second one, Deuces, was on there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was a couple songs that came off that tape. What I mean, me and B-Dot have this argument a lot of times. I don't feel like Crenshaw gets counted as a Gangsta Grills as much as it should. Mm-hmm. That's one. There's so many. What else is a slept on one? Lake must have left.
He's right there. What's a slept on Gangsta Grills?
Huh. I was just about to say that. Recipes Rich Homie Quan. I was just about to say that one next. I'm still going in.
Yeah, Rich
Reloaded. I think that was the name of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 28 grams. The Wiz one.
The Wiz shit.
Yeah, Wiz.
Yeah.
Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Mixtape. Hey, Wiz is in his bag right
Wiz
now.
is in his pocket.
He is.
Oh my
He's in
gosh.
his bag.
He's in his
Love
bag.
to see
Different
it.
pocket right
I feel like after Cushion Orange Juice, you guys should fucking spin the block on a Gangsta Grills just cuz.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
You're kind of like
probably
extended
coming.
Taylor Gang already. You've been
Absolutely.
on like 30
Facts.
tours,
Yeah, no, I'm definitely Taylor Gang. That's family for life.
Do you get just like, I feel like Don Cannon's, speaking of slept on, one of the most slept on greatest
OD.
producers of all time.
Facts.
Appreciate that.
Do you just get like your first pick on beats, or just like
Yeah. Yep.
so you get to
Yeah,
like,
nah.
hey yo, pull up a phone.
Yo,
and
like
just play some
yo,
shit.
nah, he'll just come in the studio and just open the laptop and just start playing shit. Like he'll play chops, the sample chops. Like, you fuck with this? Yep. Even if I don't fuck with it, yep. I need it.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'm sending it to you. Just leave.
Are you like actively producing like with him in mind, or you
Actively.
Active.
Well, because he's there, it's like I know that he's gonna rap on certain things.
Right.
That this game is really missing. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to certain artists, they not in that bag anymore. But he's in that bag. So I'm like, okay, I'm in that bag. Let me get there. You know, I'm in a hip hop state of mind right now. You know, we purists. So
For sure.
sometimes I just get in that mode where it's like, man, I know we're gonna make something special because I'm in that mode.
Is it like refreshing? Obviously, not to get into the politics of what happened with Kendrick and Drake, but do you feel like the Kendrick moment at least brought like a certain level of like fans being a little more cognitive to the lyricism that's happening
1,000%,
to hip hop?
1,000%.
Definitely.
It brought so much to it. I mean, it invited other people to try their hand at bars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you seen Joey Badass just jump in and just
Yeah, people were mad at Joey. I'm like, why y'all mad at Joey? Joey's one of them ones. Like this is
That's
what is supposed to happen.
It's inviting
saying
people to be excited about rapping again, and that's how we clear up the belly of hip hop. Like you know what I mean? Make it interesting. You know,
100%.
Not even just fans, but like other artists too. Like
Artists,
I
execs.
think everybody looked
Facts.
at after that time period, this time last year, and the months that ensued afterwards. Like, I think everybody felt like, oh, we gotta step our shit up.
Yeah, I think too. It's like you see, you know, however you think about the big three, like all of them are like lyrical killers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's been like that through
mad-
eras
Over and
generations.
And the era is like those, like that's
Before,
that's
it was-
what I try to tell everybody. I'm like,
yeah.
yo, if y'all see the artists who are here forever,
Yeah,
who got longevity, none of them are whack.
yeah, they're killers.
Facts.
Yeah, their pen
Like
game is
people will
always.
have a little wave, they'll have a little, 2-3 year run, but then it's like, well, shit. What happened to Little
There you
Pump?
go.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Facts.
Not to take your shot to Little Pump, but yeah, no, I think that's why it's dope to see. I mean, I think Jack's like that too, man. Like, I think like Jack had to remind motherfuckers he could rap when he dropped that Jack Man shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that was his whole point in doing it.
Yeah, a little punch in the throat. What's up with his new? Is his new album? Is it done? Is it come? I know the single with Doja Cat's out.
He's actively working on it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I just feel like he's still looking for a satisfying moment for him as far as lyrics and stuff like that.
Right.
These guys are writers. Him and Kai, they're writers. They're sitting there and just going through the best lines, best possible idea they can. And that takes time, That's how we used to do it back in the day, like 3-4 years sometimes to make an album because they was trying to come up with the best ideas.
Yep, that's true. Back in the day, people used to really like, damn, when is Nas gonna drop again? You know what I mean?
The living experience, you know what I mean? Just
feel like-
going out there.
That's why you could appreciate like Tyler so much.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Especially because he makes such a moment out of it too, and like
Yeah.
in every album or every season, similar to like someone like Outkast is like, it's not comparable to the last. Like that doesn't happen that often these days.
It's almost like you have to, in order for it to be so unique and like intentional, you have to take your time.
Yes.
Like you can't rush Chromacopia and that
Yes.
rollout and that. Hey, yo, what's the mood board like for this album? What am I gonna wear?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Real shit.
Color schemes, all that shit.
That's what Kanye used to do before. Obviously he's got his own mood board
Real
now.
shit.
You know what I mean? But like you think,
But speaking of that too, though, he made a very good point. I will say in that interview, and not to get controversial, but
course.
when he was talking about like putting an album together, and like when you take an album of a certain specific, like it needs to be curated to have a certain sound, like you know what I mean, like
for sure,
people don't do that, and they don't take it that serious.
100%. Kai, what's up with you, man? What do you got coming, man? I know I know you dropped a single.
Yeah, What You Want just came out. I dropped You See It before that, and Cash Rules is coming out on April 25th. It's the first project on the label.
Cash Rules.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm just super hyped. Like that's why we out here right now.
Yeah.
Pushing.
Are you? I mean, I think at this point, like Generation Now has become like a staple.
Yeah, for sure.
If you think about like
Appreciate that.
the legacy of two of the biggest artists of the last decade, are
Facts. Yeah.
So is there any pressure?
Nah, for me it's more so like I'm just excited because I'm about to be the third.
Right.
That's how I've come into it. Like, I know I'm gonna be the third.
Right.
I got the chance to really see, like, just as fans first. Well, as a fan of them first, like how it worked for both of them, Jack and Uzi. And it's just like, oh yeah, I'm in this place. I can't do no wrong.
Right.
You know? So I'd be more excited than pressured for real.
What made you tap in with like the LA guys early?
I used to be out here a lot.
Yeah.
I used to come out here from when I was like 13 all the way to maybe like 2019, right before COVID. I was out here damn near every
So
summer.
you were out here on grip.
Yeah.
Yeah, family out here? Or?
Yeah. My pops ended up staying out here for 10 years. He had a sneaker store. He had hands in reopening World on Wheels before COVID.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so I used to just be out here.
Yeah. So you got fucking ties to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your pop still out here?
Nah. He moved back to New York.
Yeah.
But
yeah, once COVID
still
got a
out
little
there.
zany.
Yeah, COVID fucked everything up
Yeah.
for real.
Except in Atlanta.
Yeah, and that's why I ended up moving to. So it was just like I ended up being outside.
I was over there like, damn, you can still get lap dances?
Hell yeah, they closed for a week.
7 nights a week.
Shout out to the ATL. For you, man, is there anything like, obviously, would you drop like I know it's not your debut project. You got a couple of projects out.
Yeah.
But this is like your first like real major,
Yeah.
release with Generation Now. Is there, are you like super cognizant of like, shit, when 50 dropped his first time with M, there was Get Rich or Die Trying, Doggy Style. Like, there's all these kind of like this legacy of like classic first projects, if you will. Is that something you go into it thinking about? Or
I try not to put, because that feels like pressure to me sometimes. Like,
yeah,
and it all comes, when you see the end result,
right?
It's like, oh, this is legendary, and I feel like Cash Rules is gonna be super legendary still, but I don't really pay that too much attention like I have before.
Right.
But it's just like, nah. Like, more so I'd be like, damn, this nigga might have got a Grammy nomination off his first mixtape, or he made $1 million on his first mixtape, like how Drake did or how Meek did or something like that.
Right.
Or even like just things in that nature, more than like, oh, this first project with the label, so on and so forth. Like, what can I do with the mixtape?
Right.
That's really how I look at it for the most part.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be a resurgence of the mixtape era? It feels like artists are doing more like on the fly shit, not worried too much about DSPs.
Yeah.
Like,
I think there's some nostalgia. There's always some nostalgia. So I don't know if I would feel like a full resurgence, but I mean, in the last couple of years, obviously, like even after me and Tyler did Call Me If You Get Lost, there was a huge Gangsta Grillz resurgence. Like, you see what Swamp is doing with Cardi.
Yep.
Like, even with if you listen to West Side's projects a lot, like he has various like drops in there and everything, and then like you said, like artists are going back to some rogue shit where they
even like Who Kid getting a drop on the push-ups was sick.
Fire. Yeah,
but I heard the
fire.
old. I was like, check out the Who Kid drop.
Yeah, and because I talked when that happened, I hit him like, "Yo, send me the song." I'm thinking
he did it.
He had it, but I just literally was just placed there just to give you that
Nostalgia.
mixtape feel.
Yeah.
So it was hard.
Yeah, people don't know this too. Well, don't think about it, but Damn was a mixtape.
Yes, it was. Shout out to Kid Capri.
Kid Capri had drops all through that
for
joint.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that was another
definitely.
form of it. I was listening to it the other day. I was like, damn, this is actually a mixtape. He's doing what Swamp Izzo was doing. Just little, sprinkles
Real
here and
shit.
there throughout the whole joint.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's dope.
for sure.
Wow, damn. Put that in perspective.
Yeah. Shout out to Kid Capri, man.
Facts.
He's
The
kind of like
legend.
the godfather of all this
Of course,
shit. For real.
of course.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's wild, man.
And it shit, if you put it like that, it really makes sense. Since when you think about the mixtapes, he was the godfather.
Yep.
Went on to become who he was, and then a project like Damn came out, and and then even remember Cole put project out and had Killer talking at the beginning.
Oh yeah. When we and Cameron just talking his shit on the intro,
That's another
You feel
form.
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
So,
saying?
yeah.
That's dope.
and he had Little John at the end.
Crazy.
That was hard.
That was hard.
That was hard.
Hey, want to give a shout out to Hardeen, man. Listen, if you're in Vegas, the #1 dispensary in the world, the craziest selection of premium cannabis that you'll ever find anywhere. And the best part about Hardeen that I love, man, first of all, if you're going to go over there, mention my name, follow him, Hardeen_Las Vegas. But what I love about Hardeen is you go in there and you're never going to go to another place that's more educated on the weed that they're selling you, right? So maybe you are going in there and you're dealing with anxiety, or maybe you're going in there, you're dealing with inflammation. Maybe you're going in there, you just want to get a little trippy. I don't know. They're going to break down the terpenes for you and tell you which one is best for what you're looking for. It's crazy. Best bud tenders, best place in Vegas, best place in the United States. If you hit Vegas and you hit that taxi at that airport, take me to Hardin. Follow him, Hardin_Las Vegas. Check him out, HardinLasVegas.com. Shout out to the Hardin family.
Dreamville Fest is going to be crazy, though.
Yeah, I'm hyped. And it's the last one. I'm kind of mad it's the last one.
I know, man.
I've
get
never
it,
been
though.
before, so.
I understand, like, why, though. I feel
Why
like
you think?
the festival game has been bastardized and whored out.
Yeah,
I feel like-
1,000%.
Yeah, I feel like.
We talk about that all the time.
I just feel like, and then it also kind of fucked up, like, you won't see, like, artists doing, like, normal shows anymore because they're just holding out to get a festival bag because they could charge more. So then you won't, like, a lot of kids these days, they don't have the experience of going and watching their favorite artists do, like, a 300-room or 300-person cap anymore because
they're going to these festivals.
they're just gonna go do be like the 12th artist on Coachella or something and
Looks
fucking
big. Yeah.
and make it. That's the thing. That's why I respect. There's a lot of artists like Doechii. Doechii just did her
Doechi's fire.
tour, and she did the Crowbar in Tampa, which is like 150 people.
Recently,
Yeah.
since the Grammy.
No, right
right
before
before.
though.
Right
She was
before.
touring this mixtape. Like,
Yep, okay,
For this
okay.
project, she did that tour, and I remember even seeing the dates, and I was like, "Oh, she's doing Crowbar?
Wow.
That's sick!"
Yeah, that's fire.
Like,
But she's smart enough and has people around her to know what it's like to build up to be have a ticketing fan base, and that's important too.
yeah, I think Boss Man D-Lo just went through that where he was getting all that club money, and his team had to be like, "Hey, man, you're gonna fuck up your hard ticket bread," and then they did. His tour is going crazy right now.
Yeah.
Dope. That's shout out to Boss Man D-Lo.
By the way, you and Boss Man D-Lo doing a Gangsta Grills would be fucking iconic.
That would be classic.
I like that idea.
That should be funny as hell.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That shit would be sick because he's kind of like the new Jeezy, low key. Like, obviously, they don't sound the same at all, but like, just subject matter.
That statement has come up before.
That'd be
It's
crazy.
an interesting statement. I love Boss Man D-Lo. I love what he
Just on the intro, make sure you shout out Kev.
Shout out Bootleg Kev for the idea. Let's go.
I would say something way more creative than
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I got
Let's
you.
go. It's not
I
his
got you. I
terminology.
got you. Yeah.
Mr. Thanksgiving. Morocco drama.
Yeah.
Come up with something.
Is there any new AKAs that you've come up with that are topical?
Draw Madden.
Who? Draw Madden?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's fire.
Draw Madden. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
Drum Madden is tough.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm actually in a
Dramala Harris?
Wow.
If she would have won, if she would have won, you go with the Dramala Harris, right?
That's not the one.
Harris.
It's never the one.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm gonna probably skip that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't do it now. Like, shit.
For many reasons.
Yeah, for many reasons.
Yeah. I didn't think about that one though. That one
My favorite was the iPod King, though. I was mad about that.
Oh, the
I was like,
iPod
I want to call
King.
myself the iPod King.
Bro.
That was a good one.
The iPod era, I had
That's crazy.
that big one, that fat silver joint. Man, I had so many.
Didn't you have an iPod chain?
That sounds-
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. You had the shirts.
I had the shirts. Yeah. I had the shirts.
somebody had an iPod chain, though.
I think they
I
did.
think somebody did.
I think they did.
I thought it was him.
Yeah, somebody.
No,
did.
somebody had the iced out iPod.
That's
They
what I
did.
thought.
Yeah, they did.
Who was it? But it was like the case. Man,
Yeah.
the iPod used to be. Fuck, man.
iPod was
They need
crazy.
to bring them joints back.
I'm sure you can still get one.
Yeah, you
can.
can.
on
But
Amazon,
you
for
can't
sure,
put
eBay.
nothing on
You
it.
can't. Oh, you can't.
I'm sure the connector don't work.
Technology, yeah, you gotta.
But I
Have
would
you
love
guys
to.
thought about buying Dat Piff or anything like that?
Well, Dat Piff went into biz. Shout out to KP. They're in this. Dat Piff bought World Star, if I'm not mistaken.
I know there's some sort of world star Dat Piff thing KP's involved
I
with.
just saw KP do an interview just recently.
He did something with Adam.
He did it with
Yeah.
Adam. He did. I watched that. So I wouldn't say like the question you just asked about buying that Piff. What I will say is, speaking of mistakes or things that I'm upset that I didn't do, was around that time not making GangstaGrills.com, and when artists were trying to put out Gangsta Grills, not doing it where it was like, okay, if we can do it, but we're dropping on GangstaGrills.com. Because I remember the type of money that I was getting paid initially from Live Mixtapes and then from Dat Piff. And it was I was making more money in that era than I made before the raid, for sure.
And that was after the raid.
That was after the raid. This was 5, 6, 7
They were essentially
7 years.
cashing you out for the exclusive, right?
Yeah, they were cashing me out for the exclusive. I was basically on payroll, so I was getting a check every month just to be exclusive. And then when an artist would come, they would cash me out for the tape up until the artist realized what it was, and then KP had to start cutting the artist checks, which I was totally all for. Don't get me wrong, but looking back on it, thinking about how much money was being given to me, which means how much money was being made if I would have made a site, and
like if you would have almost been like, well, shit, if they're paying me this much, they must be,
you feel me,
making enough to
to cover this and more, to be living contently. So why didn't I do this?
Right.
But it's all in hindsight.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of artists you guys almost signed.
The list is extensive.
What was like the closest one that people kind of, I mean, I don't want you to like air out somebody's like fucking deal situation, but I know that there's a few artists that you guys were talking to that has been, was there something that almost got over the finish line that just for whatever reason just didn't work out?
Yeah, there are many. I mean, we were close to signing Tory Lanez.
Shout out to Tory. His album's hard.
I gotta listen to it.
It's fire. It's tough.
Yeah.
Especially all things considered.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how he recorded it, but that shit is tough.
Yeah. We quartered a lot. We quartered a lot of artists.
Quartered a lot.
I can't even remember.
Oh, I bet, dude. You guys got the compound.
Yeah, we quartered a lot.
Yeah, we quartered a lot.
Yeah, I just can't remember now.
I'm trying to think. I mean, he speaks on it too.
Migos.
Oh yeah, Migos. Spoken on that. ESTG recently.
Yeah. Shout out to him, nice guy.
Yeah.
OT Genesis. I was going to say that one. Yeah.
OT.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
Yeah. You guys have done such a good job of like, you guys have had a lot of artists that have worked out, but then you've had some that like, for whatever reason, don't work out, right?
Yep.
What, from the label side and your guys' perspective, you guys have worn so many hats over the years in this music industry. What is like I guess it's 2025, the rules change every few years in the music game, right? When it comes to breaking an artist, what are the things that like you guys feel like you're looking for? Like someone has to have a certain trait, or they have to have a certain work ethic, or like what is it when it comes to signing an art? Because music, y'all know this more than anybody, I'm sure. Music is one thing. You could be talented, you could be dope, but that's like just a small part of the pie. You almost got to be coachable, low key, right?
Yeah, but you're also asking for something. When you're coming to what you would say the staple, like you're asking for us to make you the superstar you want to be. You have to actually be convicted in that word, and you really got to do it. Like you really can't. Like we're not gonna do this promo run, come see you and you like start rapping and you can't rap, or you're not prepared, or you're not in this mode. You're not ready to do the songs. You really rebellion against everything, but you really want to be that person. And that's what you run into a lot. We run into artists that weren't quite ready for that stage. And
yeah, it's like if you want to be LeBron, you got to do LeBron shit.
And we're convicted in it. So if like you really want this, okay, we're gonna show you what it takes. You know what I'm saying? It's waking up early. It's being in mental shape. It's having all your raps together. It's having your songs together. Knowing your information. Knowing who you're gonna sit down with. Knowing what that stage is prepared for. Like it's just a lot of those things that I feel like as artists need to prepare for when they come to us, because we're not going to stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you guys also develop talent, which
1,000%.
which is a lost art form.
1,000%.
Which is something like there's nobody really doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think like even if you just look at like Jack had like some dope projects before fucking What's Poppin'.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that wasn't like an overnight thing, even though some people might think it was. Same thing with Uzi. I mean, you guys fucking had Uzi forever, but like, what about the key to just kind of helping develop talent? Because a lot of people, they might be dope, but hey, man, you got to work on the live show. You got this, and this going for you. We're going to, like, let's say Kai, right? Cool, Kai, we're going to put a tape out for you. We're going to take you around, introduce you to the public. Like, what is y'all's, like, strategy when it comes to developing a new artist, like, that maybe isn't known yet?
I mean, we look at ourselves, like, when it comes to me, Cannon, and Lake, like the three-headed monster in a lot of ways. So when you think about the music business and some of the things you just touched on, like a lot of people or new artists will just come to the table and, want to just put a project out and don't understand the other sides of it. Like, again, artists early on don't even know the difference or understand the value of, going to the club and getting the brown paper bag and being a hard ticket selling artist. What that means to sacrifice going to get that club bag and, working your way up through 100 cap venues to 300 to 500 and so forth. So when it comes to us, obviously, like, I'm like the bullhorn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I play the drum roll where, I can go out and, do my 1-2 and, shed some light on the artist. Cannon is the wizard when it comes to the sound, when it comes to the music, to the production, to, everything technical and beyond, business, super business savvy. And then, Lake is, a one-man killer himself,
For sure.
One of the smartest people I've ever met in the music industry, outside of being my best friend that I've known for 25 years. And what he brings to the table, when it comes to the company.
Real sentimental right there.
Huh?
That's real sentimental
I mean, it's just real shit I'm speaking. You know what I mean?
He's crying.
You crying, talking
bro?
facts.
I think he is crying.
You crying?
Like, I mean, like, just watching, Lake is one of those people that can walk in any room with the smartest people and be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, sure.
So he handles business, like, he has his input in on the music, like, nobody has had such a successful career when it comes to touring, as far as like what he's done with, for years before we created Generation Now, to my career, to Uzi's career, to, assisting with Jack, and, where we want to see Kai going. So, and then, it's we're giving our shoulders of legacy for artists to stand on, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's very important. That's very potent, you know what I mean, with just what we've already established and created, and, the jewels and the wisdom that we can, give to Kai and, the other, we are a very boutique label, so the other few artists that we have, like, we have our eye on and everything. So
to shadow what he was saying too, I think our strong point is building Legos, like building things.
Right.
Even though we've worked with houses that are already there, worked with, machines that were already moving, I think our strong point is actually building something from ground up. There's something interesting about
the gratification.
How we work.
The gratification
feels
from
great.
that.
You're like, man,
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a difference in that from the ground up to going out and signing an artist that, has had that everybody's trying to sign.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, if you're in a bidding war for somebody, it's like
exactly.
Yeah, but if like you bring somebody, it's like
that's not exactly what we do. Now we're not opposed to that as well. Like we're all in it to win, but we get way more gratification out of the development.
That's crazy. We've never won a bidding war.
Been a part of some, but never won.
Have we been a part of some
We've won some
where we
bidding.
actually put a bid in, or it was other people seeking that artist?
There was other people seeking that artist.
Yeah, not a bona fide bidding war. We're we're offering you this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We've never been in it, but we've never won nothing either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but we've had some where we were like, oh, so and so's talking to me, this person's talking to me,
a bidding war.
And we're talking to them too.
Right.
But we really never bid it. It was like, yo, this is a house. If you want to be here, this is what we expect. This is what you can see moving forward in the future. But we never was like, here's $1 million, sign with us. Like, we never, you know what I'm saying?
I want to shout out to our good folks over at Odd Socks, our family. Ooh, Lay's potato chip socks. What else do we got here? The Bob Rosses. Shout out to that. Looks like Ritz. We also have some of the Anyway, if y'all don't know, man, Odd Socks are OG sponsor. They're our day ones. They're our family. They just had a birthday in December, celebrating 11 years. The crazy shit about Odd Socks is I've been with them since they was like getting it out the mud in Tampa, Florida in like 2014. Fast forward, they're one of the biggest sock companies in the world. And we're hooking up all of our viewers with a dope deal with Odd Socks, the most comfortable socks in the world, the craziest licenses. Go to oddsocksofficial.com, use the promo code right now. It's Bootleg, and you'll save 20% off. Of course, the underwear's on deck. Shout out to the undies. We got all the undies. They got the slides now. They got belts. They got all kinds of crazy shit at Odd Socks, man. Oddsocksofficial.com, promo code Bootleg. Save 20% off at checkout. And by the way, if you screenshot me an Odd Socks order that you used with our promo code, throw me a pair of Bootleg Kev socks. Give me a pair. Give me a pair over there. If you can screenshot an Odd Socks order and send it to me, the first 5 people that do that, I'm going to send you on the house a free pair of Bootleg Kev socks. Yeah, why not? Support my people. I support my people. You feel me? Hey, real quick, want to give a shout out to our newest sponsor, man. Salute to the family at Slap Woods. That's right. We love Slap Woods because they slap, man. The only leaf, the only wrap that we smoke. All right. So check this out. I want to do a giveaway. If you're watching this is what we're going to do. If you go buy yourself a Slap Wood from the smoke shop, the corner store, wherever, you tag me in it, tag Slap Woods, and tag the Bootleg Kev Podcast. That's 3 accounts you got to tag on your story or on your post. I'm going to be looking out for it. I'm going to pick 3 people to send a box of Slap Woods. We're also going to send y'all a Bootleg Kev 500 episode t-shirt and some Bootleg Kev Odd Socks. All right. So make sure you go follow Slap Woods. Go show them some love. And we like to say much love, man. Hey, look, we rocking with them Slap Woods, baby. You already know. It's the Bootleg Kev Podcast. Let's get back to it.
What have you learned, Kai, from being around these guys in the amount of time you've been signing them? Because obviously they're legends.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Mainly just like sticking to your guns. This is what I took away. Just seeing Drum and Cannon, like every day, they're still actively working. Like, I ain't gonna lie, before this, I didn't know how active, because I'm not thinking about how active DJ Drum and Don Cannon are.
Right.
But it's like being here, it's just like, nah, these niggas is outside. They working like young niggas.
Right.
They're outworking young niggas.
Listen,
and
not
like
that old.
I know, but still, it's
yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's just like that, and
you aging me at the same time.
Just say veterans.
And yeah,
veterans.
yeah, I give y'all that.
Young OGs, dog.
And the young OGs, and
no unks.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons why I even came to Gin Now, while we came together, is which I was just talking about the development, and I seen that it's like they take pride in building artists up. I felt like, for me, being an artist that had dreams of being signed to a label, we kind of lost those, recipes. And it was just like, damn, they don't even develop nobody no more. It's like, you got to go viral,
right.
You get signed,
right.
You fall off.
Yeah, like the allure of like back in the day, like, man, I'm trying to get signed. People don't give a fuck about that shit no more. They just want to catch a what they want to catch a wave. They want to grab a quick advance.
And I don't knock nobody that could do it on their own. Cause before I got here, I was doing a lot of good shit on my own. But it's just like, nigga, that has always been my dream. I know what type of system I want.
I just say this, like any artist who like there's one side to being independent that's great, but not everyone's Lil Russell.
Exactly. That was the example I was gonna bring up.
Like Lil Russell is like an alien.
Literally.
You know what I mean? So it's like that man has his own thing going and it works for him. If you're an artist and you're like, yo, I want to make music.
Yeah.
I want to focus on the creative aspect. You have to kind of, it might not be a label, it might be a management team, but you gotta put a team together.
You have to.
Because otherwise, I tell people, man, the most frustrating shit I see is artists who just like put music out and hope for the best.
That shit don't work. Ever.
Too much music.
Ever. It's too much music.
But that shit happens all the time.
It's that error, bro.
You'll see artists dropping, and I'm like, yeah, but like,
it's because niggas get spoiled. You get the chance to see somebody might have done something that looks similar to that, not knowing they had a whole team of
and
40
a lot of artists be pocket watching too much. And by pocket watching, I don't even necessarily mean dollars, but they'll just like be pocket watching people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean that's where a lot of people always go wrong. Like you can't trust someone else's process.
Facts.
Like your time and your energy and what you put into the game, like is that's your path.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Kev, like how we all came up. Like, I've been doing this shit since I was 13. Like,
how old are you guys? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm about to be 47.
I'm 38.
I'm 38. I'm actually 38, so I'm about to say I was a kid.
I'm 45.
Selling gangster grills. Yeah, so I know y'all probably got a decade on you.
I was trolling.
You're not 38.
I was like, damn, we're both 38.
Nah.
Said
Were you
was going
fucking
crazy.
15 when you did Canon? Like, like you're a real child prodigy.
Just trolling.
How isn't that record like 20 years old now?
Is the record 20 years?
It'll be 20 next year.
Yeah, it'd be
Came out
21 when I
06.
made it. I made it in 2004.
Damn, that
It
just
came out
makes me
06.
feel-
He's 21.
No, I was
24,
it was
25.
2004. I was 25.
Yeah, it's 24, 25.
Jesus.
Gotta
We was
celebrate
young
that.
niggas, though.
Gotta celebrate the 20th.
Yeah, we was young niggas. But it's 20 years since Trapper died. It'll be 20 years for dedication to next year.
Crazy.
Coming out on 20 years on all those tapes.
Bro.
What a time.
Why did you ask our age? What were you?
Oh no, because I just wanted to see how off he was calling y'all old. Because I'm old.
Oh, I got you.
I'm like an unk to a lot of these like 310 Baby calls me unk. I'm like fool.
That's crazy.
I mean, he young as shit.
Yeah, he's
though.
young as shit. I mean,
My son's
nigga was
older than
in
him.
high school.
Exactly.
Right.
Yo.
I have a 19-year-old.
Yo.
Yeah. That's the worst part is I'll be interviewing artists. Like I interviewed that kid, Baby Kia.
Kid, yep.
From Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Nigga, like 17.
And I was like, wait, how old are you? And he told me, I was like, fuck. And I'm like, oh, it makes sense. I'm having a conversation with a juvenile, essentially.
Yeah.
But you know, I got past that, or not past that, but we went through that early because
But you didn't have to interview these motherfuckers and get them to be interesting as children.
no, I went through a period like we were still doing interviews when we were doing like Shade 45.
Right.
So you know, I've done my fair share of interviews with artists who they're not the easiest to talk to.
Correct.
Figuring that part out, but
Right.
early on, a lot of our peers got hip to Uzi because of their kids.
Makes
So
sense.
that was one of the times where it kind of came full circle where, you know, people that like in our eras and beyond were hitting us up about records because of their kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's always kind of fun to see.
That makes sense.
I mean, my daughter's about to be 24 this year, so I'm in the same
I ain't gonna
boat.
lie. I felt like we was OGs in 2010. I feel like they was called us OG.
They
then.
were. I
Like,
think
you're
they were,
OG.
yeah.
I'm like, damn, I'm OG.
we had
I'm
just
30
got in
years
it
old.
we were in it for 5 years officially, like
Right.
just got into the league. But
It was big,
you're
big
right.
bro and OG like early. I'm like, yo,
Y'all
I'm
did
a lot of
early.
shit.
Yeah, y'all
What's
did a
going
lot
on?
mad
We
early.
did a lot
going
early,
on?
though.
That was vets.
When is the Perico tape coming out?
What's the date on it? Like,
Because that shit he just dropped, that music
Commas.
video, that shit was tough.
yeah, we just shot some shit yesterday that's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, dude.
Hilarious. Perico's on some shit. It's called LA Gangsta. It's definitely dropping
Happy birthday to G Perico.
very soon.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy born
birthday,
day,
brother.
Perico. My guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. This our, you know, we got a few projects in, so
I know you have like flirted with, obviously you guys had Scheme. Scheme's also all-time underrated LA
Underground
guy.
King, bro.
indeed.
Scheme the
Underground
Duke.
King.
still signed to us. That's our guy.
When is he going to put music out?
And now.
Ever?
I don't know. I think he just toys with the idea of it, but I think
So talented,
his
man.
pen, bro. He's
pen
like
is
what
crazy.
he does, and the freestyle. Like I feel like because he's so good, he's waiting for some type of challenge. Like our word don't mean nothing. I'd be like, yo, put some music out. All right. But I feel like if a rapper challenge him, like he'd really get upset and try
Right.
to, dog him. You know what I mean?
He's an LA legend.
Yeah,
For sure.
he's a dog for sure. No doubt about it.
Were you asking if we're thinking about
Some more LA
recording?
artists?
Yeah. Always. Yeah. Yeah,
You got one in mind?
we do.
Nice.
Can't tell him.
We do.
They following us.
Oh, they
They
follow.
want they want to find out
Are they
who.
buzzing in the city? Of course. Fair point.
Fire.
You
I gotta
gotta
sign a
rap.
Mexican,
You
man.
gotta rap.
Gotta sign a Mexican.
Yeah. You gotta get it. Y'all gotta get
If
a
we
hard
sign
Mexican.
a Mexican before we sign in a rapper from Atlanta, that would be insane.
That will be a scene. But I would. They be rapping.
Listen,
rapping.
man, you know, the way we've gone about things, our whole career has always been against the grain. So you never know what could happen.
There it is, man.
I've told this story before. When I went to Mr. Cartoon real quick, and I was down there with Rich Hill.
Okay.
And there was a couple Mexicans out there rapping. I was like, yo, they good. But at that time, my brain wasn't even thinking about signing nobody. It
There's
was just
like,
I would do y'all
it's
mixtape.
a wave
You
going
know
right
what
now,
I'm saying?
man. Like
Yes.
Yeah, they
Peso,
good, bro.
Lefty.
Yeah.
Bro, they good, bro.
There's
They good.
couple of brothers named Coyote
Oh yeah,
that Johnny did Shipes did a distro deal with them. They're hard as fuck.
fire,
Yeah, they dope.
Mexican OT's tough.
Yeah,
fire,
Yup.
oh, fire.
Yup.
For sure. All right, well, fellas, we're gonna have you do a freestyle if that's cool.
Okay.
But that's gonna be a separate piece of content. Go watch that. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Album's coming out
April 25th, Cash Rules, man.
Any features?
I'll just let y'all see that when it drops.
Nice. Okay. There it is. Cash Rules. Appreciate y'all, man.
Sir.
Always.
Thank you.
Boom.